The stars stretched into bright lines as the ship called Horizon slowed from its jump. Commander Alex Wright looked at the main screen and let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. The ship had made it. The farthest humans had ever traveled from Earth. "Jump complete, Commander. All systems normal," said Officer Pete Johnson from his station. Alex nodded. "Begin scans of the sector. Let's see what's out here." This mission was humanity's greatest achievement. 5 years ago, humans had built their first faster-than-light engines. Now they were exploring beyond their solar system, hoping to find other intelligent life. Officer Julie Adams looked up from her screen with wide eyes. "Commander, I'm picking up a signal. It's artificial. Definitely not natural." The bridge went quiet. Everyone turned to look at Alex. "Can we track it?" he asked, keeping his voice steady. Julie nodded. "Yes, sir. It's coming from the third planet in the nearby system." "Set course," Alex ordered. "But keep us at a safe distance. We don't know what's waiting for us." As they approached the planet, the sensors detected something new. Large objects were in orbit, ships much bigger than the horizon. "Multiple vessels detected," said Pete, his voice tense. "Their design doesn't match anything in our database." Alex leaned forward. "Open all communication channels. Let's try to talk to them." The ships were impressive, dark, scaled structures that looked like they were built for war. For 3 hours, the Horizon sent greetings in every format their computers could create. Finally, a response came through. The screen filled with the image of a reptilian face. Its scales were a deep red, and yellow eyes with vertical pupils stared at them. It spoke in a harsh language no one understood. Dr. Ben Foster, the ship's linguist, worked quickly with the computer. "It will take time to translate fully, but I think they're asking who we are and why we're here." Alex stood tall. "Tell them we are explorers from Earth. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge." After Dr. Foster sent the message, the alien's response was quick. It made a gesture that looked like baring teeth. Then the screen went dark. "They've cut communication," Julie said. "And sir, they're moving toward us." Alex felt a chill. "Raise shields. Power up engines, but don't make any aggressive moves." The alien ships surrounded the horizon. Then, without warning, they fired. The ship shook violently. People fell from their chairs. Alarms blared. "Shields holding at 82%. Pete shouted over the noise. "Whatever they hit us with, it's powerful." Alex made a quick decision. Return fire, defensive only. Target their weapon systems. The Horizon fired back. To everyone's surprise, the alien ship took heavy damage from their first shot. "Direct hit," said Lisa Green, weapons officer. "Their shields are weaker than we expected." 2 more alien ships fired. The Horizon rocked again but stayed together. "Shields at 67%, Pete reported. "Sir, we're actually holding our own." More alien ships joined the fight. Alex ordered evasive maneuvers. The Horizon twisted and turned through space, firing back when possible. 3 hours later, they were still fighting. Intercepted communication between their ships. Dr. Foster called out. "I've partly translated it. They're surprised. They're saying, 'These creatures are stronger than they look. Their ship withstands attacks that would destroy others.'" Another translation came through. "These beings must come from a world like our own, a death world. The Galactic Council must be informed immediately." "Death world," Alex repeated. "What does that mean?" Before anyone could answer, a massive alien ship appeared. It was 3 times the size of the others. It fired a bright beam, but not at the Horizon, at the other alien ships. "They're fighting each other now," Lisa said in disbelief. A new message reached them. The translation was rough, but clear enough. "Humans of Earth, we are the Galactic Council. The Vraxians attacked without authority. Retreat now. Your world will be contacted formally." Alex looked at his damaged but surviving ship, at his tired but determined crew. Set course for Earth, he ordered. We need to warn them. We're not alone out here, and not everyone is friendly. The Galactic Council chamber was huge. Hundreds of aliens from many different species sat in rising seats that formed a circle. In the center stood Zila, the council archivist. Her blue skin shimmered under the bright lights as she spoke to the worried crowd. The humans have made contact with the Vraxians, she said. Her voice was soft, but carried to every corner of the room. This is the first time two Deathworld species have met without our control. Whispers spread through the chamber. Many aliens looked afraid. What is a Deathworld? Asked a new council member, a small green alien with 4 arms. Zila touched a control panel. A large image of Earth appeared above her. A Deathworld is a planet that is very dangerous, she explained. Earth has strong gravity, extreme weather, and many deadly animals. The humans had to become tough just to survive there. She changed the image to show Vrax, a planet with red deserts and tall mountains. Vrax is similar. The Vraxians evolved on a harsh planet too. Both species are stronger, faster, and more aggressive than most other intelligent life. The head of the council, an old alien named Greel, stood up. His long neck bent forward as he spoke. For centuries, we have kept the Vraxians contained. We control their expansion through careful deals and by keeping our technology secret. But now humans have entered space. They are advancing quickly, and they've met the Vraxians. This is very dangerous. While the council talked, Lieutenant Kate Summers was fighting for her life. Her shuttle had crashed on a small moon after escaping the battle. The shuttle was damaged, and she was not alone. "Don't move," she said, pointing her gun at the 2 Vraxian warriors who were trapped with her. One was hurt badly. The unhurt Vraxian, who had gray scales and sharp teeth, spoke through a translation device. "If you shoot us, you will die too. This place is failing." Kate looked around. They were in an old mining station. The air was getting thin, and warning lights flashed on the walls. "The life support system is breaking," the Vraxian said. "I can fix it, but I need help." Kate didn't trust the alien, but she knew he was right. If the air ran out, they would all die. "Fine," she said, lowering her gun slightly. "But try anything, and I'll shoot." The Vraxian nodded. "I am Drax. The injured one is my brother, Krell." "Kate," she replied simply. Together, they worked on the broken machines. Kate was surprised by how easily they solved problems together. The Vraxian was strong and knew the old mining equipment. Kate was quick and good with computers. After 6 hours, they got the air working again. Kate shared her food with the aliens, and Drax used his medicine on his brother. "Why did you attack us?" Kate asked while they rested. "We sent peaceful messages." Drax made a sound like rough laughter. "Peaceful? Your kind fired first. We responded." Kate shook her head. "That's not what happened. Your ships attacked us without warning." They argued until Krell, who was feeling better, spoke up. "Someone is lying to both of us." At that moment, Kate's communication device picked up a signal. It was from Captain Sam Rodriguez on Earth. "To all human ships," his voice said, "we have evidence that our first messages to the Vraxians were changed. Someone made them sound threatening. And Vraxian messages to us were also changed. We believe the Galactic Council is trying to make us fight each other." Kate looked at the Vraxians, who had also received a message from their leaders. "It seems," Drax said slowly, "that we have a common enemy." Back in the council chamber, an aide rushed in and whispered to Greel. The old alien's face showed fear for the first time. "Impossible," he said. "The humans and Vraxians are talking to each other. They know what we did." The entire chamber went silent. Then Zila spoke the words they all feared. "Two Deathworld species are now working together, and they're angry with us." Captain Sam Rodriguez sat across from Commander Krell of the Vraxian fleet. They met in a neutral space station that orbited between their territories. Guards from both sides watched carefully. but the meeting was peaceful. "So the Council has been lying to both our species," Sam said, looking at the evidence on the screen between them. "They changed our messages to make them seem threatening." Krell's scales shifted color slightly, showing his anger. "They have feared us for centuries. They kept us limited to just a few star systems. They told us that other species would destroy us if we expanded too far." A human scientist, Dr. Abby Nelson, stepped forward with her findings. "Our worlds are very similar. Earth and Vrax both have high gravity, dangerous weather, and many predators. Most Council species come from safer planets. They call our worlds death worlds," Krell said. "They think we are too violent and strong to be trusted." Sam nodded. "Yet look at what they did. Tried to trick us into destroying each other. That seems pretty violent to me." Outside the meeting room, humans and Vraxians were cautiously getting to know each other. Some shared stories of their home planets. Others compared weapons and fighting techniques, showing respect for each other's skills. Officer Gary White was showing his rifle to a Vraxian soldier. "This can fire 30 rounds in 5 seconds, he explained. The Vraxian nodded. "Good weapon. Our guns use heat instead of bullets. Melts through most armor." "Not human armor," Gary said with a smile. "Our suits can take a lot of heat." The Vraxian made a clicking sound that was their version of laughter. "And our scales resist your bullets. We are well matched." Meanwhile, in deep space, a Council stealth ship moved quietly toward the station. Inside, a team of assassins prepared their weapons. "Remember the plan," said the leader. "Kill the human and Vraxian commanders. Make it look like they killed each other." The ship docked secretly on the far side of the station. The assassins, wearing special suits that hid them from sensors, began moving through the maintenance tunnels. Back in the meeting room, Sam and Krell were making plans. "We should contact other species that the Council might be lying to," Sam suggested. Krell agreed. "There are worlds the Council keeps isolated. They might be Deathworlders like us." Suddenly, the station's alarms went off. Security Officer Frank Jones rushed in. "Captain, we detected cloaked intruders. They're heading this way." Before anyone could react, the wall exploded. Through the smoke, 3 alien assassins entered, weapons ready. The first assassin fired at Sam, but Krell pushed him out of the way. The shot hit the wall. The second assassin aimed at Krell, but Sam tackled him to the ground. The human and Vraxian guards fired back, killing 1 assassin. The other 2 retreated, but not before one threw a small device into the room. "Bomb," Frank shouted. A Vraxian soldier named Thrak grabbed the bomb and ran to the window. With incredible strength, he punched through the reinforced glass and threw the bomb into space. It exploded in a bright flash, but the station was safe. Sam helped Krell to his feet. "They tried to kill us both, and make it look like we attacked each other," Krell added. "The Council is desperate." Later, after security checked the entire station, Sam and Krell made an important decision. "We need to form an alliance," Sam said. "Humans and Vraxians working together." Krell extended his clawed hand. "Against the Council's tricks and lies." Sam shook Krell's hand, careful of the sharp claws. "They've been in power too long. They fear what they don't understand." News of the alliance spread quickly across space. On thousands of worlds, Council representatives watched the reports with fear. For the first time in galactic history, 2 Deathworld species had joined forces. On the Council's central world, Greel called an emergency meeting. "We must stop this," he told the worried Council members. "If humans and Vraxians share knowledge and technology, they will become too powerful." A younger Council member spoke up. "Maybe we should talk to them instead. Make peace." Greel shook his head. "Impossible. They know too much now. We must prepare for war." Dr. Eric Daniels worked quickly in the research lab of the ship Discovery. For 3 days, he had been studying the Council files that a friendly alien had secretly given them. What he found made him angry. "Captain, "You need to see this," Eric said when Captain Laura Bennett entered the lab. Laura looked at the screen. "What am I looking at?" "The Council's true history," Eric explained. "For over 10,000 years, they've been keeping power by controlling who gets resources. They call planets with tough conditions Deathworlds, and they keep those species away from others." Eric showed her more files. "Look here. The Vraxians broke free 300 years ago and started to explore space. The Council couldn't defeat them directly, so they tricked them. They made deals that seemed good, but actually limited Vraxian growth." Laura frowned. "And what about humans? What were their plans for us?" Eric's face turned grim. "They called it peaceful integration. That means they would slowly take our resources while making us think we were getting a good deal. They would change our culture to make us less aggressive. They'd done this before. Many times. There are at least 20 other Deathworld species being controlled by the Council right now. Some don't even know they're being held back." Meanwhile, on a distant planet, Officer Melissa Bell crawled through the air ducts of a Council research building. With her was Tarek, a Vraxian warrior. They moved silently despite the hot, narrow space. "The prison cells should be just ahead," Melissa whispered, checking her map device. Tarek nodded. His scales had turned a dull gray to blend with the metal around them. "I smell others. Many species." They reached a grate and looked down. Below them was a large room filled with glass cells. Each cell held different aliens. Some looked almost human. Others were very different. All looked strong and tough. "More Deathworlders," Melissa said, just like the files said. "The Council is keeping them prisoner." "For study," Tarek added, "to learn their weaknesses." They carefully removed the grate and dropped into the room. The prisoners watched them with surprise and fear. "We're here to free you," Melissa said, using her translator. "We're from Earth. This is Tarek from Vrax. We're fighting against the Council." One prisoner, who looked like a large cat standing on two legs, spoke. "Why should we trust you?" Tarek stepped forward. "Because we are like you. Our worlds tried to kill us every day, and we survived. The Council fears us, so they cage us." As Melissa worked on opening the cells, Tarek explained about the alliance between humans and Vraxians. When the first cell opened, the cat-like alien stepped out. "I am Crag of the Filari. Our world has gravity twice as strong as Council standard. They told us we were the only ones like us." "They lied," Melissa said. "There are many worlds like ours." After all the cells were open, Melissa led the group toward the landing bay where backup was waiting. There were 30 freed prisoners from 8 different species. All had evolved on harsh planets. As they ran, alarms started to sound. Council guards appeared in the hallway ahead. They fired stun weapons, but the escaped prisoners were too tough. The guards fell back in fear as the Deathworlders charged. When they reached the landing bay, 3 human Vraxian ships were waiting. The freed prisoners boarded quickly. As they flew away from the facility, Melissa sent a message to all human and Vraxian ships. "Mission successful. We have freed the captives and gained new allies." Back on Earth, Sam Rodriguez received the message with a smile. He turned to Krell, who was now the official Vraxian ambassador. "It's working," Sam said. "More Deathworlders are joining us every day." Krell nodded. "The Council's prisoners are now our allies. Their knowledge will help us." Sam looked at the galactic map on the wall. Many areas were now marked as friendly. "We're spreading the truth to every planet we can reach. The Council can't stop the messages anymore." "Soon," Krell said, "we will be ready to confront them directly." Sam's face became serious. "They won't give up power easily. There will be war." "Yes," Krell agreed. "But this time, they face something they have never faced before. United Deathworlders." News of the freed Deathworlders spread quickly across the galaxy. On many planets, people who had lived under Council control began to question what they had been told. Some rebelled against their Council leaders. Admiral Lisa Franklin stood on the bridge of Earth's largest warship, the Defender. Around her, officers from 5 different Deathworld species worked together. In just 3 months, they had formed what they call the Deathworld Compact, an alliance of all the species from harsh planets. Report from the Cordaxian fleet said her second-in-command, a human named Jeff Stone. They freed 3 more planets in the outer systems. The Council ships retreated without much fighting. Lisa nodded. The Cordaxians had evolved on a world with intense radiation. Their tough skin and extra senses made them excellent space fighters. And the Filari? She asked. Their ground forces have taken control of the Council base on Proxima II, Jeff replied. Their strength in high gravity makes them unstoppable in combat. On a screen, Lisa watched recordings from recent battles. The Council forces were running away more often now. They were not used to fighting enemies who did not give up easily. Deathworld species had evolved to keep fighting even when hurt or tired. The Council has called for an emergency meeting, Jeff said. They want to talk peace. Lisa frowned. It might be another trick. Tell all ships to stay alert. Meanwhile, on Earth's moon, engineer Jason Clark worked with Vraxian engineers in a large lab. They were studying Council weapons that had been captured in battle. Their shield technology is different from ours, Jason explained to Vraxian engineer Zex. They use energy fields that bend light and heat. Zex touched the device with her clawed hand, but it cannot stop physical objects moving at high speed. Jason nodded. Exactly. Our kinetic weapons go right through, and your heat weapons overload their systems. They had been combining human and Vraxian technology to create new weapons and defenses. What one species couldn't solve alone, they could solve together. I think we can adapt this to our ships, Jason said. Make our shields stronger against their main weapons. Across the galaxy, the Council fortress world Celestia Prime was in chaos. Council leaders argued as reports came in about more lost planets and ships. We must use the forbidden weapons, said one old council member. It is our only chance. Greel, the head of the council, looked afraid. Those weapons destroy entire star systems. Billions would die. Better than losing our power, another member said. These Deathworlders will show no mercy if they win. After much argument, they made their decision. Deep beneath the planet's surface, they activated ancient weapons that had been hidden for thousands of years. Back at the Deathworld Compact headquarters on Earth's moon, alarms suddenly went off. Energy surge detected in the Proxima system. A sensor officer called out, "Something big is happening." They watched in horror as the entire Proxima system began to glow on their screens. Then it vanished. The star, all its planets, and everyone on them, gone in seconds. The Council has used a star-killer weapon, Lisa said, her voice shaking. They've destroyed everything in that system. Messages flooded in from across compact space. The Council had used similar weapons in 6 different systems, killing billions of people. This is their response to our peace efforts, Lisa told her officers. They would rather destroy whole worlds than share power. The compact leaders quickly called an emergency meeting. Human, Vraxian, Cordaxian, Filari, and other Deathworld representatives gathered to discuss what to do. Sam Rodriguez, now the human high commander, spoke first. The Council has shown their true nature. They claim we are the violent ones, but they just killed billions of innocent people to maintain control. Krell, the Vraxian leader, stood next to him. We must strike at Celestia Prime directly. End their rule forever. The leaders voted. It was unanimous. The Deathworld Compact would launch a final attack on the Council's fortress world. As ships prepared for battle across compact space, Lisa looked at the fleet gathering around Earth's moon. The galaxy is watching, she said to her officers. They see the Council's cruelty now, but they also fear us. We need to show them that Deathworlders fight for freedom, not just because we enjoy fighting. The largest fleet ever gathered in the galaxy began to move towards Celestia Prime. The final battle was about to begin. The Deathworld compact fleet moved through space towards Celestia Prime. 5,000 ships from 8 different species flew together. At the front was the human ship Defender, led by Admiral Lisa Franklin. "We're approaching the outer defense line," said Jeff Stone, looking at the scanner. "Council ships ahead." On the main screen, hundreds of council ships appeared. Behind them was a giant defense network, stations with powerful weapons that could destroy many ships at once. Lisa opened a channel to all compact ships. "Remember our plan. Vraxian and human ships will attack the front line. Cordaxian ships will go around to hit their flank. Filari ships will target their defense stations." The battle began. Council ships fired first, their weapons lighting up space. The compact ships took some hits but kept moving forward. "They're surprised we didn't turn back," Jeff said. "They thought their show of force would scare us." Lisa nodded. "That's the difference. They've never fought species who evolved facing fear every day." The Vraxian ships broke through the first line of Council defenses. Their heat weapons melted through Council shields. Human ships followed, firing kinetic weapons that smashed through weakened hulls. On a smaller attack ship, Major Ryan Grant prepared his ground team. 20 humans and 15 Vraxians checked their weapons and armor. "Once we land," Ryan told them, "we head straight for the Council's main building. Our job is to capture their leaders." A Vraxian soldier named Grak growled in agreement. "They will not escape justice." The space battle grew more intense. Council ships started to retreat toward the planet. But then a new danger appeared. Giant cannons on the planet's surface began firing. "Incoming," Jeff shouted. The Defender shook as a massive energy beam hit nearby. 3 compact ships exploded. "Those are the planet killers," Lisa said. "We need to take out those cannons." She gave new orders. Human ships would provide cover, while Cordaxian bombers attacked the surface cannons. Meanwhile, landing ships would carry ground forces to the planet. Ryan's ship dodged enemy fire as it raced toward the surface. All around them, other landing ships did the same. Some were hit and destroyed, but most made it through. "Brace for landing," Ryan called as their ship hit the atmosphere. The heat was intense, and the ship shook violently. They landed hard in a field near the Council's main city. As they ran out of the ship, they saw other landing craft touching down nearby. Thousands of compact soldiers from different species began moving toward the city. Council ground forces tried to stop them. They had better weapons and more soldiers, but they lacked the physical strength and determination of the Deathworlders. Ryan watched as a Filari soldier lifted a Council tank and flipped it over. Nearby, Vraxians charged through enemy fire, their tough scales protecting them from most weapons. "They're breaking," Ryan shouted as the Council forces began to retreat. "Push forward." In space, the battle was turning in the compact's favor. The Cordaxian ships had destroyed most of the surface cannons. Lisa ordered the final push toward the planet. "The Council's fleet is retreating," Jeff reported. "They're abandoning the planet." On the ground, Ryan's team fought their way to the main Council building, a tall tower in the center of the city. Other compact forces had secured most of the city around them. "The leaders should be inside," Ryan told his team. "Be careful. They might have traps or hidden weapons." As they approached the tower, a loud message played across the city. "Attention all forces. The Council leaders have activated a self-destruct system. The planet will explode in 1 hour. All ships are ordered to evacuate immediately." Ryan looked at his team. "They're trying to take us all with them." Grak, the Vraxian, stepped forward. "We must find the control room and stop it." Ryan nodded. "Let's move. We have 1 hour to save everyone on this planet, even our enemies." They charged into the tower, racing against time. The final challenge was not just to defeat the Council, but to prevent them from committing one last terrible act. Ryan and his team ran up the stairs of the Council tower. The elevators had stopped working. They had less than 40 minutes before the planet would explode. 10 more floors to go," Ryan said, checking his map. The control room should be near the top. Despite their heavy armor, the Deathworlders weren't tired. Their bodies were made for long periods of hard work. The Vraxians moved especially fast, their powerful legs taking the stairs 3 at a time. Council guards ahead, Grak warned, smelling them before seeing them. A group of guards had set up a blockade on the next floor. As soon as Ryan's team appeared, they opened fire. "Cover me," Ryan said to his team. Then he did something the guards didn't expect. He jumped over the railing and landed behind them. His strong bones, built for Earth's gravity, easily absorbed the impact. While the guards turned to face Ryan, Grak and the others attacked from the front. The fight was short. 35 minutes left, Ryan said as they continued upward. At the top floor, they found a large door sealed with many locks. 2 humans placed explosives around the edges while Vraxian soldiers stood guard. "Stand back," Ryan ordered. The explosion was controlled but powerful. The door fell inward. Inside the control room, 5 council leaders were trying to escape through a back entrance. Greel, the head of the council, turned to face the intruders. "You're too late," he said. "Only I know the code to stop the self-destruct, and I will never tell you." Grak stepped forward, his sharp teeth visible. "We have ways to make you talk." But Ryan held up his hand. "No, we're not like them." He looked at Greel. "We don't need your code. We have our own tech experts." He called in 2 human engineers who immediately began working on the control panel. 20 minutes, one of them said, looking at the countdown. Outside, evacuation ships were taking off, carrying both council citizens and compact forces. Admiral Lisa had ordered all ships to help with the evacuation, even taking council prisoners to safety. In the control room, the engineers worked frantically. One of them, a woman named Amy Powell, found a way into the system. "It's protected by multiple layers of security," she said. "I need more time." "We don't have more time," Ryan replied. Just then, Grak stepped forward. "My people study old council technology. This system is similar to one we found on another planet." He moved Amy aside and began pressing controls in a specific pattern. 10 minutes, the countdown showed. Grak worked faster, his clawed fingers moving with surprising precision. Ryan watched as lights on the control panel began changing from red to green. 5 minutes, the countdown continued. "Almost there," Grak said. "One more firewall to break." Amy helped him, the human and Vraxian working together on different parts of the system. With just 2 minutes left, all the lights turned green. "Self-destruct deactivated," said a computerized voice. Everyone in the room cheered. Ryan immediately sent a message to all ships. "Self-destruct stopped. The planet is safe." In orbit above, Lisa received the message with relief. "Send the news to all compact forces. We've won, and we saved the planet." 3 days later, representatives from all species, both compact and former council, gathered in the main council hall. The room that had once excluded Deathworlders now welcomed them as leaders. Ambassador Nicole Barrett, representing Earth, stood at the center. Next to her were representatives from Vrax, Kordax, Filari, and other Deathworld planets. Facing them were representatives from former council worlds, looking nervous. "Today marks a new beginning," Nicole said. "The old council rule is over. In its place, we will build a new federation based on equality and respect." She looked at the former council species. "We know you fear us. You were taught that Deathworlders are violent and dangerous. But look at what we did. We saved your people even when your leaders were ready to sacrifice them." A former council member spoke up. "How do we know you won't treat us the way we treated you?" Nicole held up a document. "This is our declaration for the new federation. It states that no planet will be judged by its environment. No species will be called dangerous simply because they evolved to be strong." As the representatives signed the declaration, screens around the galaxy showed the ceremony. People on thousands of worlds watched as former enemies became allies. The final words of the declaration appeared on screens everywhere. We came from worlds that tried to kill us every day. We learned to survive, adapt, and overcome. Now we will use that strength not to conquer, but to protect. The universe has watched us in fear. Now let it watch us build.